Viewers, from a stage shared with Hamas leaders in Peshawar in Pakistan during the course of an anti-Israel rally, the son-in-law of Pakistan's former Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif called upon all his party's men supporters, which is the PML Nawaz outfit, as you know, viewers, as well as ordinary Pakistani citizens to wage Ghazwa-e-Hind against India. Listen in.
मिल्लत का सामना है, जहाद के लिए तैयार हो, ग़ज़वा-ए-हिंद के लिए तैयार हो। मुसलमानों, अगर जहाद के लिए तैयार ना रहे तो फिर जिल्लत का सामना है। जहाद के लिए तैयार हो, ग़ज़वा-ए-हिंद के लिए तैयार हो।
Be prepared for Ghazwa-e-Hind. This, viewers, is a mainstream politician in Pakistan, son-in-law of Nawaz Sharif. Let's go straight across to Sushant Sareen, the #1 analyst on Pakistan in the country. Sushant Sareen, thank you. Very good evening to you. I want to ask you a simple and straightforward question. How seriously must India take such a call to wage Ghazwa-e-Hind from a mainstream Pakistani politician close to a man who's just returning to Pakistan, in fact, and who has stabbed India in the back in Kargil and other times?
Yeah, Sir Rahul, I think anybody who has any kind of starry-eyed notions about, a kind of a long and sustainable peace with Pakistan, I think these kind of comments should disabuse them of these notions. Look, the point is that this guy is a bit of a loose cannon, Captain Safdar, who's Maryam Nawaz Sharif's husband, who's also might be a PM in the waiting in the future. He has never hidden his fanatical worldview. He is a fanatic to all intents and purposes, but he's an integral member of the Sharif family. And certainly, as a son-in-law, there would be certain influence he does pull. At the very least, his association with some of the, really dubious and despicable elements in Pakistan society and polity, especially among, the jihadi crowd, is something which cannot be ignored because somewhere along the line it does influence some degree of policy, if not all of it. So I think this is a kind of a wake-up call for anybody who was thinking that okay, if Nawaz Sharif comes back, we can open up trade, we can open up commerce, and we can try and move forward, try and some kind of normalization in relations. I think it is easier for Israel and Palestine to make peace than India and Pakistan to make peace.
Now, I want to ask you, what is the root cause? What drives an individual who could quite legitimately be a prime ministerial candidate in the future? And there are elections, of course, around the corner in Pakistan. So if this is going to, there's competitive politics. So if this guy is going to say this, the other side is probably going to amplify it, go a step further. So I want to ask you, will it find easy takers, this kind of line?
At one level, it isn't so much competitive politics because this is something everybody in Pakistan actually believes. It's an article of faith for maybe 99% of Pakistanis. Okay, maybe 95%. But this is an article of faith for virtually every person in power, every person in the military establishment. This is an article of faith. So when we say this is just competitive politics and others will, probably ratchet up their rhetoric even more, I don't think it gives any political dividends as such because everybody subscribes to the same thing. But I think what it does is that when these views are aired in public and as unabashedly as this guy is doing, then I think it is a very clear signal to us what we are up against. And if we want to fool ourselves and we want to live in some kind of cuckoo land and think that, we can actually make peace with Pakistan because we speak in Punjabi and because we sometimes hear the same kind of music and because cricket is a religion and all those familiar nonsense which goes around in this country, then it's our wish. We made mistakes in the past. We can continue making mistakes in the future. But I don't think we should really
Pin our
fool
hopes.
ourselves.
Yeah, and pin our hopes
Exactly.
on bilateralism.
On anybody. And look, Rahul, the
Yeah.
fact of the matter is,
Yeah.
Nawaz Sharif, despite the fact that at one level he has always tried to, reach out, make peace and all of that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, well, please remember, when he was welcoming Vajpayee during the bus diplomacy, he had also given the nod for the Kargil operation.
Very important point,
And they
viewers.
don't find any contradiction in this.
Very important point.
So, yeah, he might reach out, he might want to make peace, he might send some gifts to
Okay.
Prime Minister Modi.
But don't
that
trust
does
him.
not mean
Don't
that-
trust
that
him.
changes
There
his
is no
mindset.
room for bilateralism, says Sushant Sareen tonight. I leave it at this. Thank you very much for joining me.